Hello, everyone. Sorry for that silence. You're welcome to this live session. So, guys, I want us to quickly take a look at this video and then we'll go
Obi
for.
lo jebe o. I mean, pardon me. That's Obi o.
Yes.
Obi flogging people. If you are flogging a child, that child must cry.
It's Nigerians that flog them with votes now.
It is Obi. Obi, that Obi people. They chop the kidney or the liver of. In fact, Obi.
Did you expect this level?
I don't expect.
Did you expect this level
I
of
am even
hemorrhage?
afraid as I am. I didn't sleep. When I was young, Obi here, Obi there, Obi there, Obi. Oh. Today, everybody has known what Obi is made up of. That's what I said to you. This Obi, don't allow anybody to put stains on your clothes. You have put up a great fight.
Yes.
A fantastic fight. When you look at the things I have here, it will help you. In the president's place, he lost election with the sitting governor there. In Lagos, Asiwaju lost election. The Speaker of the National Assembly is from Lagos. Obi lo jebe o. I mean, pardon me. That's Obi o.
Yes.
Obi flogging people. But
Even Okowa.
I don't want to mention names.
Your PDP.
I don't want to mention names. Everybody know the reason why what killed his mother and his father. As long as you are the one that succeed your father and your mother, you must know what killed them.
Yes.
So what is killing PDP? They know it. I don't want to put my mouth inside that. This election now is largely between between Obi and APC. Even in Ayu state, Ayu lost his ward. Ayu lost his local government. What are you talking about? When they used to tell us, when fish decay from inside, there's nothing left, sir. If fish is decaying from outside, you can quickly use knife and cut it off. If it's from inside, there's no solution.
Or if it decays from the head.
From the head, that's what I mean.
Redeemable.
Yes. Let me tell you something. In this Lagos, I've told you, who will imagine Obi will come here? When I had the result, 50,000 to APC 29,000, I said, to sleep became a problem. In President State, you redeem 1.2 million votes and you still won by 5,000. That means you have redeemed, you have taken the 1 million votes, 1.2 away, and you still won. Let's go a little further. In this Lagos, Asiwaju lost. But Abila lost.
No, he didn't.
No, not in person.
You mean,
the party.
Okay.
So, guys, if you've been following the trend on the social media, you know that Obi is coming is what has been trending, and this video is one of the videos out there reminding the Tinubu's camp that come this election is going to be a different, it's just going to be different from what we saw in 2023. I mean, the game is not going to be the same. And also, if you've been following the trend, you know that this rig and die is one of the hashtags that have been trending, and also Obi is coming has been trending. Nigerians sending a very strong message to the Tinubu's government that with all this hunger and with all the sufferings that people are going through, see, you can't just come and hijack this election again like what happened in the 2023 presidential election. Now, Senator Ndume was on Channels Television today, and he look at the headline, what he said. He granted an interview session there. And then he told Tinubu that he said he pitied Tinubu. 22 PDP governors endorsed Jonathan, yet he lost re-election. That was what Ndume said during that interview session. So Ndume was among the PDP governors, who came out. He's a senator, we all know, and he has been in the Senate floor for like more than 20 years or so, But this time around, he is standing his ground. He refused to endorse Tinubu's re-election, because recently the APC came together, like the governors, 22 governors have endorsed Tinubu's re-election. Possibly others will still follow suit and others might not. But Ndume walked out of the hall before that endorsement, and he's not going to be part and parcel of that endorsement. Considering the level of hunger and all the troubles in Nigeria today, Ndume said he's not going to be part of that, because that would be like him betraying his people, considering that Nigerians are suffering, the insecurity is there, hunger is there is hopelessness all over the places, and you want me to come and start making endorsement that he would not endorse the person of Tinubu's person, for 2027, seeing that Nigerians are really hungry. This is it. I'm just going to try to play the video here so that you can listen for yourself. I hope this.
That every tribe, state, region must feel that they belong. And that is what he did. And as I said, the good thing expected of a leader is that if the issue is raised genuinely, then he should look at it positively and make amends. And I think that is what Mr. President did. That is what I can say.
Although there are people, some of those who work closely with the president, they didn't take lightly some of your comments. Your very good brother from Borno South, Mr. Daniel Bwala, was very frank about the way he felt about your criticism of the president. And there are those within the party who feel that you have some very bad feeling about the performance of the. Do you think that there are things aside these appointments that are not going well with the party and in the government of Bola Tinubu?
First of all, I really want to correct you on this and maybe also advise you, because you are always trying to, throw a punch below the belt. Bwala Checkout is my junior, is my brother, and we're Nigerians. And we respect one another. And so you cannot be pulling me down to talk about Bwala. Bwala is just a special assistant to the president. So you can't equate not only Ndume to Bwala. I'm a senator, and senator for the fourth time in the first place. And as I told you, yes, Bwala is from my constituency, but he's not. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's nobody, but it's not fair for you to start. When I was talking about the president, I'm not talking to his personal aides or you didn't like the word I used, but more of a domestic stuff.
But the question
then is Sunday Dare. This is the man who can speak or even speak the mind of the president, because he has been with him for a very long time. He has been a spokesman, he has been his chief of staff, he has been a minister in the former government. And I also commend Mr. President when it is appropriate. So I don't only criticize. When he does the right thing, as he did now, he listened to what I complain about. He even asked for the details, and he got the details, and then he made correction. At one scoop, he appointed over 24 people from the north. That balances it.
Party is enjoying the kind of popularity that it enjoyed some years back. That I feel as the kind of way Nigerians feel right now, to the extent that maybe Nigerians have some very strong feelings as to the performance of your party.
Well, let me be blunt about it. The people are not happy. Several people have said it. And the president also is not pretending. He acknowledged that there's hardship. He's acknowledged that things are very difficult. And even recently, he appealed that people should be patient with him. But the question is, how long will they be patient? And things are very difficult. And so many things have not been done the way the people are expecting. And to be honest with you, if you go back to the electorate today, halfway, they are not happy. You can't lie about that. I see people lying. I see people telling president what he wants to hear, or maybe, and some of them even he doesn't want to hear them. But my position on the people around the president that are supposed to help him are deceiving him or are damaging his image, are doing more harm than good. Let me say that. Because the president cannot go out the streets like myself and know how the people feel, or even outside the villa. They will drive him in a tinted glass that he doesn't even see what is going on. But so it is the people like us that represent the public that you listen to, and then you also get your intelligence from the people on ground. But definitely, except maybe for yourself, things are bad, very bad in the country. Some of them may be because of the bad policies. Some of them may be because of the global situation that we all know. But Nigerians are people that once they know the situation, they are realistic people. But the people that the president has for now are unrealistic people. I said it before, I'm not changing my position yet until they change or president does something. Last time he did a bit of it by changing some of them, but I'm still believing that the government is more or less dominated by kleptocrats and even kakistocrats.
I mean, that English seems to be unfamiliar a bit to me. Can you explain what you meant by that? Who are these people?
Between you and God, Sheung, you are a Nigerian too. Unless maybe you are getting something somewhere, because it looks now that you are this is getting filled up. I don't know what happened. You look fine.
That's funny. But Senator, you said
Yes.
kakistocrats and kleptocrats.
Yeah.
Those are big English. You know, you're a big man who schooled in the US. It's better for you to explain to us in a language we understand. Some of those who schooled here in Nigeria.
What I'm saying is
what do you mean by who are these people?
They are, if there are no kakistocrats and kleptocrats, we would have been better off.
And these people are around the president?
Yes, of course. I said it last time that they are more or less they have more or less kidnapped the president.
So we are seeing some kind of cabals again, right?
Yeah, it's more than cabal. If it is cabal, it's normal. You two, you have your cabal. I have my cabal as senator. My close friends, they call them cabals. These are people we spend all day to, and they influence my actions and inactions. But when you have kleptocrats and then kakistocrats means that people that are not supposed to be in the position are in the position, or they don't know. Then kleptocrats are people that are in democracy, that are in politics because of what they can get out of it, but not what they can put in it. You understand that?
I mean, we always talk in parables about those who are behind the powers, who are manipulating power over and their names.
I know them, and I'm not going to mention them. You too, you know them. Government, I still believe that the president did not take power in order to make Nigerians suffer, not ministers and some of his aides and all that, so that he will bring in better people or experts to help him run the economy. Wait, Sheung, is it working from your own end? Are you not in Abuja?
I'm asking a question, Senator. Things that
Me too, I'm asking a question now.
Yeah. So the point I'm making here, Senator, is if things are not working for the Nigerian people, can you point to us areas you think that the president should make urgent and decisive action to fix this? He's halfway into his 4-year constitutional tenure.
I said it before, they are 3 and they are constitutional. Section 14 of our constitution says the main purpose of government is security and welfare of its citizens. That is where the problem is. Then thirdly, tied to that, I've said it last month or even in April in a similar forum, that once the president can address the issue of security in Nigeria, which is relapsing, after we thought, for example, that things are improving, now we are in a dire situation. Even yesterday, 2 days ago, Buratai was attacked. The front operation base in Borno, Buratai was attacked. Their soldiers stood up to it, but they made destruction of our assets. They burned down. Normally these days now they go and burn down some of the assets that is like MRAP, tanks, and all that, machine guns that we have. And sometimes they even, steal some of these equipments and go with it. The situation is getting terrible, in Borno. The situation is bad in some states. All the 6 geopolitical zones, except to some extent South. Even South, we have issues of economic sabotage and this oil theft and all that. But Southwest is the only region that is relatively safe now. So the issue of security is number one, and take it. The purchasing power of Nigeria has gone down with the minimum wage of 70 and the rate of inflation. And these things are still not, Nigerians cannot afford to live. And they are even finding it very difficult to survive. But as I said, this government, in addition to having kleptocrats and kakistocrats, which I said, now the recent development that I see is the heightened severity that is happening in the government.
What do you mean by that?
You don't know civility?
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't get you clearly.
Servility. You don't know servility? Servity. Check.
What does it mean? Explain it. We want to know.
Take. When I tell you are holding your distance, take severity.
How is that situation going in the government? How can you describe it?
No, I was there, but I was the only voice that said nay.
Because when we wonder, a lot of the leaders of the APC endorse the president, saying that he's done well, things are going well, and he should go on. Mukeso, that's the shouts that they were having in that hall that day. This is totally a departure from what happened at the APC summit. Is that a deceitful gathering, or what exactly do you think is going on based on what you have described? You see, things are not working, but yet party leaders are saying it is going well. The president deserves automatic ticket.
Well, as I told you before, I have made my mind. I was there, but that was not why I was there. I was there for a summit, and when I realized that it was not a summit, and the voice vote was put about the endorsement of Mr. President, I just left. And that does not mean I'm not an APC member. The majority had its way, and maybe I'm a few of us, felt that was not right.
But you look at it again.
As a senator, I was not.
You look at it within the party, there were endorsements for the president. Outside of the party, there are defections into the party. So the party is saying, even not for the performance of President Bola Tinubu and the APC, new entrants will not be coming into the party.
No, I don't think that is it. I don't think so. It happened before, not once, not twice. It happened during Jonathan. It happened when again? That does not. Okay. You see, what I see there is that politicians are decamping, but the people who are the voters are not decamping.
Oh, that is it.
So what is happening politically is not in tandem with what is on the ground, what the Nigerian people can feel.
Thank you. That's it.
Is the president aware that this is a political gimmick or this is a political deceit that is going on the way you have described it?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't have access to Mr. President, so I won't know his mind. I didn't speak, but I hope he will look back historically and see that the gathering of people to say we endorse you, especially, you can't, for example, the president has been endorsed, and the president even endorsed us during his budget presentation, but the party said now that no automatic ticket for others. So what is good for the gander is not good for the what? What do you say?
What is good for the goose is not good for the gander. Is that what you meant?
That is what they are now saying. So you already see there is a problem.
What does this connote for you? If this is going on, and you made reference to Jonathan's period in 2014, pre-2015 election, and Jonathan lost the election, are you worried about something here?
Yeah, really, because Jonathan had 22 governors then endorsing him like we did now. And what happened? Jonathan lost woefully. And even that time, what happened? A lot of money was spent, over 2 billion or whatever. And then even the election was sifted. But we are not learning our lesson. And I pity Mr. President for this kind of a thing. Even though he came out one time that this is not time for campaign, we should not be campaigning. But you have already seen the problem now. You go out there and say you are endorsing Mr. President. And when the rumors came out that, oh, the National Assembly members also and this thing are going to be given automatic ticket, the party came out to say, we are not giving them automatic ticket. So who is going to be the foot soldier?
Senator, this is a very critical period in our history, and as a people, we need to find a way forward. If there is something that you need to tell the president to do as an action, because he's the leader of your party, and it does look to me that you are worried that your party might lose at the center. A lot of people see, they see that, they think that may not happen because opposition is not strong, and that there isn't anyone that can give Bola Tinubu and the APC a run for their money in 2027. But do you have an opinion that is against that?
Yes. Number one, as I told you, I still believe that the president means well for this country. If not, he wouldn't have even contested. He supported twice people from the north, Rubadu and Atiku later on. And that shows his level of patriotism. And then when things didn't, in fact, the third person is Buhari. But when all of those, the two did not work, the one that worked was not, Buhari didn't do what much people expected. And he gave it a shot himself. So I thought that this is going to be it. This is going to be the master stroke. Tinubu is coming himself to do it himself. And even he said that it is his turn, Omelekon. So after that, when he wins the election, I thought that it will be Omulekon. Well, you know what Omulekon is, including everybody. That is going to be our turn, especially the APC. But that is not the case. But the good thing is, and our advice is that there's still time because things can be turned around within a year. All this outcry is within 2 years. So in the next 2 years, he should make Nigerians happy. Once he makes this Nigerian happy, I said it before, nobody will contest. Why do you?
So, guys, we are going to stop it at that point. You've heard everything Senator Ndume said in this video. One of the striking statements he made is that the people are defecting. I mean, the governors are defecting, but the people who are the voters are not defecting alongside with their leaders. And that is the reality on ground. I don't know if you saw the video of what the former governor of Delta State went through at the hands of the people of Delta. There was this gathering and he was trying to convince them that APC is now the party to be. You can imagine how women, I mean, just normal women, ordinary women, they wanted to eat him raw. That's to tell you that really people are defecting. These leaders, let's call them leaders, these governors, they are defecting. But the people who are the grassroots voters are not defecting with them. You see, the struggle of the governor of Akwa Ibom State, he has been struggling, although he has finally defected. But I tell you, that defection wasn't easy for him because his people opposed it. But because these leaders is all about where they can get something for their stomach. When you look at Nigeria today, you know that it's all about their stomach. It's not about the ordinary man on the street. Everybody knows how this APC currently has failed the Nigerian people. But look at our governors. They are moving over. The next defection now is going to be Fubara. That speculation has been out there. Is it because he's happy going to the APC? No, he's not happy. But he has no option because he wants to retain his position as the governor. He also wants to get his own portion, his own share, as in after 8 years, you will not live there without your house, you have your cars, you have your money, you have everything. Then you are going to be on life pension as an ex-governor. Your cars will be renewed for you every 4 years, or how do they even do it? Your medical bills will be taken care of. If you want to travel abroad, you have the money is there. See, Nigerians, it's not about you and I. It's about these people. Now, the Tinubu himself, who is the governor, who is our president, he was a governor. He's on life pension as a governor, or somebody who was a governor. He was a senator. He's on life pension as somebody who has served as a senator. And now he's the president. When he leaves, that pension to us, one-time serving president, will also come to him. So you can imagine how many pensions some of these people are taking home while Nigerians can barely eat. When I say eat, Nigerians can barely eat. You see how much the Tinubu's government has borrowed just within the space of 2 years. They borrowed more than what Buhari didn't borrow in 8 years. Buhari left us with 77 trillion naira debt. Under Tinubu's government, it has spiked to 184 trillion naira debt. This is just 2 years, and now they are still eyeing more loans, and people are wondering why all this. It's not as if they are even borrowing that money. Sometimes I just keep wondering. Leadership is not rocket science. Take the money. Even if you want to borrow heaven and earth, borrow it. Just show the people how you are using the money, the outcome, the benefit. Just carry the people along. But the worst part is that these people will borrow. They will not tell us what they are going to be using the money for. You will just hear that they've borrowed this amount, and how the money is going to be used will not be told to any Nigerian again. That's just the problem. So it's all about them and not about the people. And that is why, see, despite all these defections, if you have been on Twitter, you know what has been happening in the past few days. It has been fire for fire that Peter Obi is coming. Because, see, we want leaders. It's not only Peter Obi that is good. We need credible people on the Senate floor. We need people we can trust in the House of Rep. We need all these people. Even as governor, we need people that can really come out and be passionate about this country. It's not about tribe or religion or whatever. We just need people who will come in and they really want to serve this country. There is this commissioner in Akwa Ibom State who refused to defect with the governor because of his own belief. So it's not all about the APC money, because once you defect, then the federal government presence will now come to your state. But if you are in opposition party, the federal government does not know anything about you. So that is the challenges we Nigerians are having. And that's why everybody should, you see, prepare your mind that this election is going to be a turning point for Nigerians. No matter what these politicians are trying to do, they don't have our interests at heart. So, guys, we are going to stop this this topic on politics. I have Mr. Gbenga here with me. Like, you know, I always tell you guys that it's not just going to be about politics. On this platform, I also want to be talking about how people can start making money for themselves, looking at how things are going. People are graduating every year. We have how many students leaving the university for NYSC, and they leave the camp without knowing where and how to start their lives. But I tell you, Nigeria is still that place you can build wealth, no matter what these politicians are doing. And that's why I tell people, forget the Tinubu's government, forget the APC leadership. Try to think outside the box on how you can start fixing your lives so that you will not be tempted to go astray. You think about how to start making money. And that's why here I also talk about investing in landed properties, investing in the real estate, in houses, duplex, and all that. And like if you were here last week, we talked about how you can start all this without money. I mean, even if you don't have money, Mr. Gbenga is here with us to also like refresh that topic. If you are eyeing the real estate, you know, business in Nigeria, and you know you don't really have a bulk of that money sitting somewhere, he told us on how you can start, no matter how small it is. You can always start making money in Nigeria in the real estate business. So before I let him come, let me quickly say this. I watched a man in Nigeria today. He said how he began selling real estate, and today he is a billionaire. If I mention his name, you might know him. And he said he was born in a very poor environment, and that affected his mentality, his friends, and all that. The kind of school he went, he didn't even know he could get to where he is today. But when he discovered that he could convince people on buying property, that he made an attempt. And luckily for him, that first attempt fetched him a whole lot of money. And today he is in the business of real estate. He went into that business without a dime. But because somebody gave him the opportunity to market his business, he did that marketing, and that fetched him millions. That's how he went into the real estate business. So you can see that he came from a very poor background. He is not known in the society. His family is not a wealthy family. You know, nobody was there to guide him like we have mentors today, online, offline, that can hold your hand and say, this is how I created my wealth. So yeah, follow me, and you follow them to get there. He didn't have anybody like that. But he had this belief that there is a skill in him. And when he had an opportunity, he just went to somewhere to talk to people about, see this opportunity, you can start from there. That was how he made his first money that now, you know, gave him the gateway into the real estate business. And when I saw it, I was like, God, do you know, many of us, including myself, many of us are sleeping on money. There are a lot circulating in the air that we all can grab. But like, you know, the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. When you don't have knowledge, is very powerful. This is the only thing that differentiates the poor and the rich. The amount of knowledge you have is very critical in anything, in any field. And in Nigeria, some of us don't try to like gain that knowledge quick until the time will bypass us. So it's really a privilege. I'll keep bringing Mr. Gbenga here. He is a real estate developer, and he is somebody that is trustworthy. You know, I will not bring somebody here on this platform to teach you what he or she has not practiced. He has been in the field and he has gained knowledge, and I feel he should educate my audience. Peradventure, you are interested, even if you don't work with Mr. Gbenga, get knowledge that can help you to take a step, and don't keep folding your hands and waiting for these politicians who don't even have you in their agenda. I mean, they don't have you in their agenda. Now, Mr. Gbenga, you are going to be talking to us on all this, and I believe that our people are going to be gaining a lot. Welcome to this live session, and the floor is now open for you to start.
Good evening, ma. Good evening. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very, very much. It's always a great pleasure to be on your program, to be on your platform. Thank you for always having us. And once again, I enjoy your newscasting. I enjoy the program before you bring us on. So thank you. To start, I would like to say that the Bible says something. It says that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and everyone that dwells therein. Land business is a forever business. There are many businesses, but everything has to take place on land. So land is a common denominator for every enterprise, whether you are in farming, whether you are in hospitality, whether you're in medical, whatever business, everything is done on land. That's number one. Number two, land is fixed. God has created all the land, so no more land can be created. So any piece of land that you have is valuable, because if you don't buy the land, somebody else will buy it. And if somebody else buys it before you, and you buy it later, you buy it at a higher price. So the value of land, the price of land does not wait for anybody, and it keeps appreciating. It keeps appreciating. Now, real estate is a patient venture. Real estate is a very patient business venture. It is not like crypto. It's not like Forex. You have to be patient to generate wealth in real estate. And that's why it's called real. That's why it's called real. It is tangible. It is tangible. You can feel it. You can touch it. But there's a way to go about getting rich in real estate. And that's why we're on your program, to enlighten your people, to speak to your people about pitfalls, about hindrances, obstacles that they can avoid, so that they don't get their fingers burnt over and over. Okay. Now, I say real estate is a patient business venture, because it takes you. There's a strategy to getting wealthy in real estate. People like Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo is a man that has heavily invested in real estate and is cashing out today. He's cashing out today, not because he bought real estate today, but because he bought real estate years ago. Years ago. Imagine if, let me take myself for example now. I'm in my 40s by the grace of God. What if my father had bought, even let's say it was 10 acres, anywhere in Lagos or anywhere even in Nigeria 40 years ago, as maybe severance package for me or inheritance package for me? Imagine if he had bought it way back then, whether it's Lekki, whether it's Aja, whether it's Eleko, wherever it is, and he had protected that property, he had fenced that property. I'll be sitting in wealth today. So that's why I say real estate is a patient game. Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, the Catholic Church heavily invests in real estate. Forget the cathedral they build. When they build the cathedral, you see the enormous land that they have acquired. And they don't go and acquire land in open places. So they go to interland. They go to where people don't, where people are not much, and the people come and now meet them there. People now come and meet them there. Look at Bill Gates. Bill Gates has enormous amounts of land spread across the world. The Queen of England, God bless her soul, enormous property. So real estate is a patient game, and there's a strategy to getting wealthy in real estate. It does not matter how much you have. You don't have to have all the millions at once. There's something called compounding interest appreciation. It also happens in real estate. Compounding interest appreciation. No matter how much you have, you might not have money to start to buy land in Banana Island. You might not have money enough money to buy in Lekki, but there's a place you can buy that with time. The Bible said that Jesus gave talents to 3 people. To one he gave 10 talents, to one he gave 5 talents, to one he gave 1 talent. The 10 talent produced 100%. He got 10 more talents. The 5 talent produced 100%. He got 5 more talents. The 1 talent, he said that because I don't have as much as I don't have enough money to buy in Lekki, but I'm not going to buy anywhere. The Bible said that Jesus took what he had. He took what he had. He said, "Can you say, I thought, go and buy somewhere. If you cannot buy in Banana Island, buy in Lekki. If you cannot buy in Lekki, buy in Nigeria. If you can't buy in Nigeria, go and buy in Ekpe. If you can't even buy in Lagos, go and buy in Ogun State. Go and buy in Ibadan. Go and buy in Imo. Go and buy in Benin. Go and buy in Port Harcourt. Buy somewhere." That is my message to your people. It does not matter how much you have. There is a place for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. So it does not matter where. You can just buy anywhere. Because,
Yes.
when we talk about real estate in Nigeria, some people think it's just Lagos and Abuja. That's just where these 2 places come to mind each time we talk about real estate in Nigeria. But I think it's becoming clearer now that it's not just, in Lagos or in Abuja that you can make money from real estate. You can even buy from your hometown. It's even surprising for me, like in my village, we recently started discovering that land is even more expensive in the village these days, especially when you come to those villages that have almost sold out everything. It's difficult to see land easily. Some people are even going to far away from their family house to go buy land and start building. So you find out that even lands in the village are very expensive, not just, so it mustn't just be in the town. It could be anywhere, but start investing in land. And there are places where the land will be very cheap, and then you just go there and buy. Just like Mr. Gbenga has said, Catholic Church practices that a lot. They can just come to even a bushy environment and just build their church and acquire very land mass. Before you know it, other people will start following suit to come to that place because they know that development is coming in, and that is good. So, Mr. Gbenga, I want to know, last time you talked to us about if somebody really wants to take real estate very seriously, because it's not about you buying one land in your village and then maybe you are living in America or you are living in Europe or you are living in Nigeria and you just have a piece of land sitting in your village. That doesn't mean you are into real estate business. So can you just tell us how somebody can really come into this real estate in a very simple way that will not be, stressful for the person? Because people look at their pockets and say, okay, I don't have money. How do I go into real estate when they say the money is huge? How can somebody begin this journey of going into the real estate business, knowing that there is this potential of making good money in it?
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma'am. Once again, as I said, real estate is a patient business. It is not a hurry, get rich quick scheme. It's something that you build with time, with strategy. Okay. Now, real estate is also not buying land is not a luxury thing. It's not a pleasure thing. It is not oh, I don't like this place or I don't like this area. No, 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 no. Real estate is pure investment. There's no sentiment in it. There's no sentiment in it. There's no that, oh, I don't like the north. I'm not going to buy land there. Oh, I don't like the east. I'm not going to buy land. No, no, no. It is a purely investment decision. Okay. So whatever amount you have, so there are just some things you must check. There are some dots some T's you must cross, some dots you must note, some things, some factors that you must really, really consider. And if you check those boxes, as your audience will have to go through some of the videos that we've done so that they know some of the things that they need to check. Now, the strategy of getting wealthy in real estate is to be consistent. If you're going to buy one plot per year, maintain it. If you're going to buy 1 acre per year, maintain it. You need to have a patient mind. You need to have a patient mindset, and you have to be in it for the long haul. I'll give you a scenario. I don't know if it's an African thing. We are quite impatient, but for the Western world, for the white people, they can plan 5 years ahead. They can plan 10 years ahead, and they'll be consistent with it.
Even very short.
Pardon me to make this reference.
Yes.
Pardon me to make this reference. In Africa or in Nigeria, for example, you will see our government to say, "Oh, Vision 2030." They'll just say Vision 2030 on paper or news, and then they'll go and sleep. They will not take daily, monthly, yearly actions to achieve that thing. But in the Western world, you will see day to day, month to month, year to year actions going towards that thing. If they want to plan World Cup, for example, when the World Cup is happening, they already know where the next World Cup will be, and then they will start planning. But forgive me, in Nigeria, for example, it is the year before the World Cup. That's what we'll not start doing fire brigade. Oh, World Cup is here. World Cup is here. What happened to the years before? So the same thing applies in real estate. You have to be consistent with your strategy. Is it one plot per year? Is it 1 acre per year? Is it 10 plots per year? Just be consistent, and so that for the next 5 years, I'm devoting this amount of money, and just block your mind and then invest in it. In 5 years, you will be thanking God for yourself. And then another tools we are now bringing to the table. We are not saying that, yes, your land will be appreciating with time, but every year we are going to be bringing income into your land year by year, because we are going to utilize and maximize the use of your land to the people that will need it, because our lands in city buildings, they are fenced, they are gated, they are secured. So we are not saying why fence a property, you get a property, you secure property, and it's bush that is growing on it. Why should bush be growing on our property? So we are not come up with the concept to say, okay, we are going to lease, since we are providing security, we are providing a secured environment. We are going to, and then we have farmers that are being threatened by herdsmen, by cows, by all sorts of things. Why not gather all these farmers together and just, I say to them, we have this secured environment. Pay a certain amount, come and farm on our property, and then pay the owners of this land some lease amount. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay.
So that's one way that your audience can get value in real estate. Thank you.
Okay, please, before we get into land banking, I watched a video today where a lady was saying, because you said we should make it like a regular thing in investing, So I watched somebody who said if you are paying 20,000 naira into mutual funds and all those stocks and ETF, whatever. I don't know how she did her calculation, but she's like, if you can map out 20K and you are investing it every month, you are investing, you are very, very consistent for like 30 years, that you'll be coming up with almost 500 million naira. When I saw that, I was really shocked. I said, God, This is 20K that somebody can just enter a bar or a hotel, a restaurant, and just squander it immediately.
I'll blow like that.
You know?
Yes.
But this lady opened my eyes. She was like, if you are investing 20K, just 20K, that is a chicken change, you know, every month, that for like 30 years, you'll be coming up with almost 500 million naira. I was like, God, this is a very good strategy. So that I just had to say this because of what you said. So, Mr. Gbenga, in the real estate industry or arena, how can one, because this person now uses 20K, which is related, let's even increase it to 50K for somebody who wants to invest in real estate, or even 100K, which some people can easily afford. How can somebody who has just like 100K or 50K be able to, you know, make that money to compound to the point that you'll be able to invest in real estate? I'm coming from the point of somebody not having enough money, and you have that hunger that I really want to go into real estate. How can somebody with 20K, 50K, 100K, or even 200K every month that you can save, how can such a person get into the real estate?
Thank you very much for that question. As I said, you know that they say that our fingers are not equal, okay? But whether our fingers are equal or not, you have a hand and you have a finger. So whether your finger is 20K or your finger is 50K, your finger is 100K or 200K or 500K, you have a finger. Now, it now depends on where you now want to fit. If you want to start with 20K, you build it up until maybe in 100K, there are 520Ks. When your money has reached that's 20K 5 times, it has not 100K. You can now move it to another investment. Okay. So in real estate is not so much of a cheap business venture. Okay. So in real estate, there are different caps. There's a 100K cap, there's a 1 million cap, there's a 10 million cap, but there's entry level for everybody. Now, if I take this analogy that you have given, even in real estate, there you can do a 100K per month. In a year, you can own a plot. So now, when you build a relationship with that company, you can say, oh, please, I have a goal of wanting to get, let's say, 10 plots in 5 years. Okay. And then, okay, they can now have an arrangement with you to say that, okay, anytime we have a property within this budget, we are going to inform you. So, but note that there are things you must check. Please, you work hard for your money and you must protect how you invest that money. If you're going to invest in real estate, there are some things you must check. You must check out the company very well. You must know that they're certified. They have their various registrations. They are well regulated. They are registered with the appropriate regulatory bodies like REDAN, like EFCC. They have their school certificates, and there are other checks that we have discussed on your video, Madam Ifeoma. So if you have that cleared out of the way, you can now begin to say, because for us as city buildings, we have payment plan structure. Because we don't, yes, so there are some people that bring all the money at once, fast, take, and we give them their land. There are some people who say, please spread this payment for me. So we have those structures to say, okay, the land is XYZ amount, spread the payment. If it's 50,000 a month, if it's 100,000 a month, if it's 200, whatever you can afford within a time frame, we'll draw a package for you. We'll draw a package for you and say, okay, pay within this period, this land belongs to you. And you do that consistently for 5 years, for 10 years, you're going to be good for it. So you can diversify your portfolio, have an investment you are doing 20K per month, have another investment you are doing 50K per month, have real estate that you are doing 100, 200K per month. So it is very possible to get real estate and pay between 100 to 200,000 per month, and you'll be a player in the real estate space.
Wow, it's nice knowing this. So real estate in Nigeria, you can actually verify and make sure they are legit, and you start investing. I mean, making like contributions every month and saying, okay, I have to be putting in 100K, 50K. And then when that money gets to a certain amount that can afford maybe a land or a house or a duplex or whatever, then they will sell it to you. Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So they give a payment plan structure, and then you can be a beneficiary in it. And that's even one part. Another part is that because they say that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. You can even come together and say, okay, I have 5 like-minded friends. We want to invest in real estate. So instead of you doing 100K or 200K per month for maybe 6 months or 12 months, why don't you come together with maybe 4 or 5 of your friends with like minds, and you can drop an agreement? You don't necessarily even have to trust yourself. There'll be a binding agreement that will stipulate your names and your portions, your stake in the agreement. You put money together, you pay to an organization, trusted real estate organization, and you buy your plot immediately. And then and then you do it as a group. You have paid for one plot 1 month, another plot in a year. When 6 of you have 12 plots, you have moved fast. You have moved fast, so you can even come together as a small group, put the money together, have a binding contract with the company and with yourselves, because you're dealing with an organization. So nobody can go and take the money on behalf of the other people, because the organization will have the agreement with maybe 4 or 5 or 6 of you together. So nobody can cheat anybody out of it. So yes, trust is important amongst you, but even without the trust, your money is more important. And you put it together and you pay to the company. You are not paying to one individual. You will not pay to one. You will say to the company, we're a group, and everybody pays the money to the company. The company collects everybody's amount, probably put all of it in a WhatsApp group and say, okay, this person has paid, this person has paid, this person has not paid. Then the group will go after the person and say, please pay your money, because this is a group thing and we're owning the land together. And if they are going to sell, they'll sell and they share the money together. When profits come on the land, they receive it together. So that's also another way that they can go into real estate.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Co-ownership is another option.
Exactly.
So you either invest directly into the company and be paying partly every month, and then when the money accumulates, they will sell a particular land or house to you, or you co-invest with your friends. So, Mr. Gbenga, last time you also talked about how somebody can get money from banks, assuming somebody is not really buoyant enough to go into the real estate, and the person is not having enough money, and the person can actually get loan. Is this loan of it? Is it really working? Because sometimes Nigeria is a place where you have some things on paper, but it's not actually working. So I don't know if you can substantiate on that.
Okay, so now there are 2 levels for property and for loans. Number one, there's property, landed property, and then there's housing property. The only one I would advise, this is my personal opinion, the only one I would advise to get loans for in Nigeria is housing. Okay, because, and this is not, even the loan is not commercial loan, it's a special loan called the Federal Mortgage Bank Loan. The interest rate is tailored towards getting housing in Nigeria, and it's a single-digit loan. It's less than 10%. Okay, so for that, one can utilize that loan to get properties in Nigeria, because the interest rate is low. All right, because conventionally, interest rate in Nigeria is over 30%. I would not advise anybody to go near that for the purpose of acquiring property. Okay, instead of you acquiring property through loan, like up to 30%, what you can do is work out a payment plan strategy. So that gives you leverage. That's sort of like that's like a loan for you. Okay, when you pay in installments to get your property, instead of paying at once and getting loan to acquire that property. So the only loan I would advise in Nigeria is the mortgage loan by the Federal Mortgage Bank, which is a single-digit interest rate. Now, on the flip side, if you have access to loan and credit facility abroad, that's also another, because there are some facilities abroad that they are probably also maybe less than 15 and 10%. So that's also advice. That's also good. So long as you have a means of being able to pay that abroad. Okay, so you get cheap loan and you need to invest in Nigeria, where you get rapid and faster appreciation. Because the truth really is that Nigeria is a developing country. Nigeria is a developing country. I will let you know this, that when Nigerians are traveling abroad, as we are traveling abroad, We have people, expatriates coming into Nigeria. What are they coming to do? Because Nigeria is still a developing country, still a fertile land, there's still room for development. So long as there's room for development, and we have over 200 million people, we have a massive market. We are like a virgin ground that anything you drop in Nigeria will grow. But and God has totally blessed us that much. We have people, we have resources, we have fertile land, we have good land. So Nigeria is a fertile ground. So if you have an opportunity of cheap loans abroad, you can get it as long as you have a way of comfortably paying that loan. You can take that loan, invest here in Nigeria, where you get a higher return, and you pay off that loan abroad. But if you want to utilize our loan here in Nigeria, the only loan you should touch in Nigeria is a federal mortgage bank loan, which is a single digit. Thank you.
I think that is very, very important. So, guys, if you are coming to Nigeria to borrow money, no, to invest in anything because the interest rate is too much. I read, I think that was on Twitter. Somebody was saying that someone told him to come to Nigeria and borrow money to buy his house. There's this investment, I can't really say. And he asked, okay, a banker was encouraging him to come take loan for an investment. And he asked him the interest rate. Do you know how much? He said 40%. Hey.
40%. Wow.
40.
Wow.
40%.
Wow, that's huge.
So, guys, coming to Nigeria to take loan is a no. Please listen and listen well. It's a no, except for this loan that he talked about, that is a federal government way to encourage people to like buy houses, people to own houses.
Yes.
That one is a single digit. But if it's a normal, go home, borrow money from bank and go and invest, please, it's a wrong business. Just for you to have that clarity, please, it's a wrong business.
Totally wrong.
Your place of residence to come. But Nigeria is not really helping businesses. So how can interest rate go up to 30%? So you people who are in the real estate, like you people that build houses, because I know it's more of you take money from bank and going. How do you people not? I don't know. How do you people survive this market if banks are asking for 30?
Yes, so now that's why instead of going to the bank, okay, credible and reputable property development company building houses, what we do is that we partner with the subscribers. So now we say that, okay, we have the land, we have the expertise to build. Okay, you want a property, but you also don't have all the money at once. Why don't we collaborate? So it's not like a joint venture, really. Now, as you bring your money, you will be building it part time. So you are bringing your money in installments. We are building it in installments, and at the end of 12 months, you have your property. The developer doesn't have to go and get loan, so he saves that 30%. You don't have all the money at once, so you are earning your money per week. You are earning your money per month, and you want to be bringing a small. So your small at the end of the day will build the house, because a house will not be ready in 1 month. A house minimum you need a house to be ready is about 6-7 months. So let us work with this 6-7 months together. Okay, because even if you bring all the money at once, your house will not be ready at once. It's minimum 6-7 months. So why not? Just don't let us rush. We bring your money in bits. We'll be building it in milestones, and you'll be seeing the progression of the work. We are at foundation stage. We are the raft stage. We are the lintel stage. We are the decking stage. You'll be seeing we are installing windows. You'll be seeing your house be growing right in front of your eyes. And the developer doesn't have to go and get any loan. So that's an ingenious way that developers are able to provide housing for people at low cost.
Thank you very much. So everybody, I hope you guys have taken notes of all this. It's good to go into real estate, but you really have to have the knowledge. Don't go into it without the knowledge. And that's why this meeting is very essential for those who are intending to go into the real estate business. You can get some of this education here. Mr. Gbenga is always here every Sunday to like discuss with me on how to go into the real estate market. I don't know if you have any question, you can drop it here in the comment section below. I'm trying to attach Mr. Gbenga's phone number, but I'm having problem with my internet. I'm clicking my system but it's not responding. I'll try to do that. So, Mr. Gbenga, now let's talk about land banking in Nigeria, which is also one of the easiest ways to go into the real estate business. You've talked about Pastor Oshomo, I don't know his name again, you know, the big pastor.
Ashimolowo, Matthew
Yes.
Ashimolowo.
You talked about him. Myself, I watch him on his channel. He always talk about how he started years back, how he went and acquired land massively. And today, he's a billionaire, he's a big man in the real estate, you know, industry. So if one actually want to start with land banking, how is that going to be like for somebody who is dreaming to go into the real estate business? And you know, you cannot afford buying a house or a duplex and all that. Land banking is one of those easiest way, and that's how this pastor that I just mentioned started his. So can you take us on that and on how someone can actually start?
Okay, thank you. Now, when it comes to land banking, we all need to know that a city today was a village yesterday. Every city, every town we see today was once what a village yesterday. So don't despise a village. In fact, be looking out for where is the village in this area, because when there is a city near a village, it's just a matter of time. That village will turn to a city. And note that even that city that village that has turned to a city, there's another village after that village. Okay, so your target is to know where is the village around me. That's number one. Number two, what are the government plans for this area? So you need to know what are the government plans for this area. So when we are city buildings, when we acquire properties for land banking, we do our research. We work with the urban and regional planning department of that state. If it's Lagos State, if it's Ogun State, if it's Oyo State, we work with the urban and regional planning department of that. We say, what is the government's plan for this? I'll give you an example. Now, this coastal road that we are talking about, this coastal road is not just, yes, they are currently doing it, but this coastal road has been in government's plan for over 20 years. It has been in government plan for over 20 years. So, and then now it's materializing today. So the thing with our government is that they might be slow, but one day they will go into action. We are talking about Fort Mainland Bridge in Lagos. Fort Mainland Bridge in Lagos. They have been talking of that Fort Mainland Bridge for how long? You know what? They started mapping out the route of that Fort Mainland Bridge. So one thing you need to ask yourself, what is government's plan for this area? So when you know the government plan for that area, you go ahead, you go and position yourself appropriately. Now, when you are buying from any property development company, you must make sure that they give you assurance that that land is not under any government acquisition, under any government committed acquisition, because all land is under acquisition by government. All land belongs to government. Okay, so all land belongs to government. That means all land is under acquisition, but there's committed acquisition and not committed acquisition. The not committed acquisition is what we call the freehold land. Is what we call the freehold. So the minimum issue, you make sure that the land is freehold. Okay, so it's either it has a freehold, or it has a C of O, it has a gazette, an excision, or a government allocation. So under these titles, you are free to go. But it must not be a government committed acquisition. That's very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So guys, that is clear. If you're enjoying this program, subscribe to the channel and also give this video a like so that YouTube can push it out for more people to see. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you see all our updates. So Mr. Gbenga, you've explained all this. You guys are in this industry. If someone has questions or somebody is intending to go into this real estate business, how are you people open to like helping? Because we are focusing on Nigerians who do not really have enough, but they want to start. But you've made that point clear. So what do you have at hand now that Nigerians can take advantage of, and how can you guys be of help to those who really wants to come into this real estate business? I'll attach his phone number and his email on the screen so that if you have any question, you can also call him on an individual note to talk to Mr. Gbenga. So, Mr. Gbenga, tell us of any of the offers that you guys have and how can it be of benefit to those like who wants to actually go into this real estate.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we currently have two projects ongoing. We have the land for land banking, and then we also have a construction project that your audience can pay in installments. The first one, let me talk about the construction. We currently have terrace duplexes that's up and down, 4-bedroom terrace duplex, which we are currently selling for 75 million naira this month. By July, that price is changing. It's going to 88 million by the end of this June, going into July. So, and then they can pay within 12 months. They can pay within 6 to 12 months. Okay. We have payment plan for 6 months. We have payment plan for 12 months. We even have payment plan up to 18 months. So, whichever one is convenient for your audience, they can subscribe into that. So, the current price I'm giving you now is valid for only June. From July, the price will be changing. So, that's for the property, that construction property. We also have some lands both in Lagos and in Ogun State that we are selling for the land itself. Okay, it's about 600,000 naira. Can you imagine that? For 600,000 for the land. So the other fees. So the total fees comes to about over 1 million naira. But when your audience made the call, we'll give them more details. So, but the land itself is about 600,000, and then they can choose to buy. Okay, but the thing with that is that they can only buy in acres. They cannot buy in plots. Okay, and 1 acre is 6 plots. 1 acre is 6 plots, and then they'll pay the other. They'll pay their statutory fees, the survey, the documentation, and all whatnot. And then so they can be proud owners of land. Our lands are verified. Our lands are not under any government committed acquisition. They are, your audience, they're going to get their receipts, they're going to get their survey, they're going to get every documentation to prove and to show that they are bona fide owners of the property. Whether they are in Lagos, whether they're in Nigeria or out of the country, we are going to send their documents to them. Whenever they come around, the property is at their beck and call. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that clarity. I think it's very clear. If you are interested in any of this, you want to go into real estate, like through land banking, or you want to go into buying a duplex or any kind of apartment, Mr. Gbenga is somebody you can always call. At least get some information. Even if you are already into it, he's going to put you through. He's somebody you can trust and somebody you can really love working with when it comes to transparency. You know, one of the problems we have today in the Nigerian real estate business or environment is poor regulation. So we always tell people, please don't put your money in the wrong place. Don't give your money to people that you give it to them, you will not see them again, and they will be telling you stories and all that. When you pay for properties, when it's time to deliver, they give you story. Go for people you know you can trust. And that is why I'm having him here on my platform, because he's somebody I trust. And that is the kind of person I can only allow here on my platform to talk to you guys on such a business style, which is very, very, it makes a lot of money. You know, if you're in the real estate business, Nigeria needs housing. You know, the deficit is huge. And even till tomorrow, in 20, 30 years, the population will just keep growing. Houses are needed. And this is something that people can take advantage of. Like people who are living outside, you can't tell me that you don't have $100 at the end of the month. That's, let's say it's 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira that you can be saving, and you use it to buy big land, no matter where, to at least start. Like you said, you should strategize it, you know, and say every month I'll be paying this. Before you know it, in 1 year, in 2 years, you've got like 1, 2, 3 plots for yourself. Or you come together with people and invest in a real estate company, pay, and you buy a plot or buy a house together with lawyer agreements and all that. I think everything will be fine. And with the company too that you are using, everything will be fine. And before you know, in 1 year, you and your group have bought like 10 to 12 properties, and everybody will own like one and all that. that. I think there are a lot of strategies people can actually use in going into the real estate business, especially when you don't really have money, because you know, many people will tell you there's no money. Even those in Nigeria will tell you there's no money. Even people in abroad, it's also not that easy, you know, when you are living abroad. But I think this instrumental payment is really a game changer. And if you have group of friends, you can come together and say, okay, let's go and buy land, let's invest in this. I think that one is another unique way of easily getting into the real estate business. One thing with real estate is no matter who is the presidency, it's not going to hurt you. Like Tinubu now is the president, but guess what? The Nigerian economy is bad, but people are still cashing out in different aspects, especially in this real estate business. You know, last year we talked about how Dirty December was a game changer, especially for those in Lagos and other, you know, big cities like that. Everywhere was totally booked. So those who have properties in Nigeria, they are making gains, especially during this festive period. People are coming to buy businesses ahead of December and all that. And most times these shortlets are all booked and you can be making money monthly. Then he said, if you buy land, that land cannot be sitting idle. They will give it out to people that need it and be paying you money at the end of the year for using your land. So these are very good strategies we all can take advantage of in going into the real estate business, because there are a whole lot, you know, a whole lot of opportunities out there. Before you know it, you have this number of properties, you know. People in the US, you know, some of these wealthy men, like it said, it's a gradual thing. It's not a get rich quick scheme, you know. It's not like CPEX or all those stuff. It's something that gradually you will be investing. I challenged everybody with this, will I call it a testimony, that a lady said, if you're investing 20,000 naira, in 30 years, you have these millions. You can imagine that. But there are people that just an Unkobi joint, they've spent that 20K. And the next day again, go out, they spend that 20K. And the money is just wasting. But if you can take decision and put it somewhere, begin to put it somewhere, I tell you, before you know it, you've built a portfolio of real estate properties or land that you can really lay hold on. So, Mr. Gbenga, I don't know if there's any additional points you want to talk about before we close this session.
Well, we really said it all. I just want one more point I want to buttress. A step taken today is, and that will lead to a profitable direction, is better than just sitting to have all the eggs gathered together before you make a move. Take a step and to take you to your wealthy place. That's my last comment. Thank you.
So, Mr. Gbenga, assuming somebody actually wants to start now, if somebody wants, after, you know, listening to what the discussion is all about, and the person says, okay, I want to be saving 10K, 20K, 100K, 200K with you guys, how is that going to start? How is it going to happen? Will the person will the person have to come to Nigeria, assuming the person is not in Nigeria, or even if the person is in Nigeria and you are in another part of the country, do you need to come and do you need to hire a lawyer? How is the process going to be?
Thank you. Okay, so now this is we simplify our process in city buildings. We don't make things cumbersome or too complicated. If they want to get a property from us, number one, would let them know how much the total sum of the property is, both the land and the documentation and the survey and all the statutory fees. We'll give you a total amount. We'll now say, okay, do you want to pay it in 6 months or do you want to pay it in 12 months? Let's say, for example, they want to pay it in 12 months. We'll break it down. Let's say the amount comes to, let's say, for example, 200,000 per month. We say, okay, you pay 200,000 per month for 12 months, and every time you make a payment, we'll issue you a receipt. Okay. When you make your first payment, your first payment of, let's say, for example, 200,000, we'll give you a contract of sale. We'll give you a contract of sale that will specify all the terms and conditions that you are buying this land in this location for this amount for this period of 12 months, and you're paying this amount per month. And at the end of your 12 months, we'll give you all your documentation and we'll give you physical allocation of your land. When we give you the physical allocation of your land, that's when, if it's land you are buying, not housing. So the same thing applies also for housing. The same model applies for housing. Okay, so but if it's land you're buying, after let's say 4 to 6 weeks, you will plant on your land, because by then would have arranged the farmer that would inhabit your land, and say, okay, for the next 5 years, you will be getting this amount periodically. And so you have struggled to buy the land for 1 year, and for the next 5 years, you are now earning on that land. So you will have your receipts, you have your survey, you have your contract of sale, and you have all your documentation. So that's basically simply the process. You don't need to come. We are going to do video coverages of all this. We are going to do video coverages, and we are going to email your documents to you. And when everything is all complete, you can have a hard copy if you want, or definitely you have a soft copy in your email or on your WhatsApp. But you don't need to physically come. But if you have people that can represent you, most definitely they can come over. But if not, virtual, we're going to do virtual tours, virtual video coverages, and it's as good as you coming physically.
Thank you very much. I think that's very clear.
Thank
So,
you.
guys, it's all about trust. Like I've told you guys, if you are looking for someone you want to work with in the real estate industry, you can always contact Mr. Gbenga and speak further with him. With this, I want to say a very big thank you for joining us to the end of today's program. Please subscribe to the channel and also give the video a like. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification so that you get all our updates. Thank you very much for your time tonight. See you again in our next live session. God bless you and good night. Bye.